All right, we've got some breaking news for you. Miami Heat point guard Terry Rozier and Portland Trail Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups have been arrested in connection to an FBI sports gambling investigation. Next hour, we're expecting FBI Director Kash Patel to appear with the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York at a press conference announcing indictments surrounding those allegations. All right, CNN's Kara Scannell is joining us now with the latest. What are you learning about this? This just came in just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, these arrests just happened, and of course the Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups, the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, have bbeen arrested. A third former NBA player is also charged. And what law enforcement officials tell us is that there are two separate schemes here. One involved a game rigging scheme. That's involved Terry Rozier, and he allegedly provided information about who was playing in games, who might be on the injury list, to some of the sports bettors that he was involved with, and he benefited himself financially. According to one official, he bowed out of a game faking an injury about 9 minutes in to help whatever bet had been placed on that game. Then there is a separate alleged scheme, and that's the one that allegedly involves the coach of the Trailblazers. And in that alleged scheme, that also involves three families from the New York mafia families, the Genovese, the Bonanno, and the Gambino crime families. That this is a poker scheme, according to sources, that involved playing Texas Hold'em, and that Billups was part of that scheme, attending these games. And according to one official, his attendance was there to be used as sort of a distraction to some of the other players who were playing, all part of a poker ring. So two separate sports betting schemes that they're announcing today. And we will, of course, learn much greater detail about what all of this entails next hour, when we do expect to see the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, the NYPD police chief, as well as the FBI Director Kash Patel, kind of laying out the breadth of these two alleged schemes. And we'll find out how much money is actually involved in all of this.
Yeah, those details should be coming out in not too much time, certainly today. And of course, they are innocent until proven guilty, but these allegations are some really surprising ones that we've gotten this morning. Thank you so much. I'm going to also bring in Christine Brennan, CNN sports analyst and sports columnist for USA Today. What are the rules with the NBA? Because some of the gambling policies, because some of these policies have been lessened and lightened over time. But first of all, did it shock you to hear this, that these two people were caught up in all of this? And second of all, like, what are the rules that are being followed? Because sports betting has become huge in this country.
Sarah, as you know, it is huge, and it's almost like, when was this going to happen? Here it's happened, this bombshell. And of course, the timing could not be worse for the NBA, just starting its season, the grand opening, every team having its first game, just as big a story as you could have. And then this bombshell drops right into the middle of it. Of course, as it should, in terms of investigation, national investigation. Of course, you don't wait for a better time, but for the NBA, could not be worse. And so, yes, on one level, it's shocking because you just can't believe, especially a name like Chauncey Billups. If you've even just casually followed the NBA, you know that name. He's 50 years old, a great career, a lot with the Detroit Pistons. Now a head coach. He's the leader of the team, and now he is alleged to have been involved, as Tara was saying, in this incredible scandal. Again, innocent until proven guilty. And then also a player who's been around, Rozier, who's been around and drafted first in a few years ago by the Boston Celtics. So we're not talking about rookies. We're not talking about people that have not been in the game, have not heard the rules. I think what happens in a situation like this, Sarah, is where you have gambling literally enveloping sports. And we know this. Every commercial, you turn it, you walk away, you're back. It's something sponsored by a gambling company. That this is the kind of thing that is probably a disaster, potential disaster, alleged disaster, waiting to happen. And as I said, I don't think we should be that shocked, and I don't think this, sadly, will be the last of these kinds of stories.
This is literally coming as the NCAA, college sports, Division I athletes, they're looking at allowing them to place bets on professional sports. So as you said, it's sort of the breadth of this could be quite huge. What do you make of that?
Well, yes, and hey, you played sports at a high level, I certainly played sports my whole life. The idea that something that you want to be able to trust, right? The whole foundation of sports is that what you're watching is real, and that there's no funny business, no shady
Right.
dealings going on. And if that comes crumbling down, then potentially, clearly, that's a huge issue for in terms of any sport. But you had Shohei Ohtani's interpreter ensnared in
Right.
something. So that's baseball. As you said, college sports, these are younger athletes, 18 to 22, 23 years old, even probably more impressionable and more apt to be able to be caught in something this terrible.
Thank you to you, Christine Brennan, and to you, Kara Scannell. We are waiting for that press conference that we're expecting to hear more details about this breaking news.